Welcome to 30 Days of Marketing Mavens. 30 days, 30 experts, 30 marketing niches. Brought to you by Profit Master Business Solutions. More leads, more sales, and more revenue for your small or medium-sized business. Click findnewrevenue.com to learn more. Now here's your host, Howard Walpoff.
Welcome back to 30 Days of Marketing Mavens. I'm Howard Walpoff. It's all brought to you again by Profit Master Business Solutions. And I am so excited today because we're talking about social media and the one platform that I really love the most, which is Twitter. We are so fortunate to have Madelyn Sklar with us. And I'm going to just rattle off things from her resume because it's unbelievably impressive. She's ranked the #1 social media power influencer in Houston, Texas. She's one of Huffington Post's 50 women entrepreneurs to follow. She's also one of Search Engine Journal's 50 incredible women in marketing to follow. And she's the host of the weekly #TwitterSmarter Twitter chat that I always really enjoy, where you gather so much information and so many resources, people joining in, talking about what is Twitter, how Twitter works, how best to utilize Twitter. And if you don't have it on your calendar, absolutely put it on your calendars for Thursday afternoons. I know for me, I believe it's 1 Eastern. And again, Madelyn, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Howard. Happy to be here and talk about my favorite thing, Twitter.
So how did you first get involved with Twitter?
Oh gosh, when Twitter was in the early stages, when they were first coming out, I was hearing about it from South by Southwest Interactive that particular year. It was like the big, every year there's always some big buzz tool or app, and it was all about Twitter. So I checked it out and immediately fell in love with it. I think the reason why is because of the brevity of it. You know, the short format. They called it micro blogging at the time. That's what they called Twitter.
Yes.
I love that it was just 140 characters. That's more my style. When I would blog back then, I was always just short to the point with no fluff. So it was perfect for what I was always trying to do. So it just was a natural fit for me. But I will say in the early days of Twitter, most of us didn't know what to do with it. That was back where, just like with Instagram when it was new, it's like, what do you post? Well, people posted what they had for breakfast or lunch, shared some pictures. So it was really funny to look back of how we used it back then versus the way we use it today.
And it really has grown, obviously, for those who are not as aware. The size of the letters that you're allowed, the characters have doubled over the course of the last couple of years. And I know for me and for many others, it's my first resource for news. And I really gather what is happening to the minute of what's going on in the world, what's going on in the country, what's going on in sports at times. And but it's just a very personal messaging opportunity for people to speak in general to the world, to speak to some people, their constituents and their fan bases, and for marketers to speak to their clients and potential customers.
Absolutely. Yep.
So let's go back to this, the chat that you have every week. How did that get started?
Well, being such a big fan of Twitter, I actually used to run a Twitter chat. I was in the music business for many, many years prior to doing this pivot and getting more widely known for social media. But I was already known for social media in the music business. And I hosted a weekly Twitter chat for my music community. And even though Twitter chats are public, it was a fun way to attract other musicians, not just people in my community. So it was really cool to help get my community's name out there more and my name out there more just by holding a public Twitter chat week after week. And it's a great way to just connect with people, like-minded people, and talk about things that are important to everyone. So it just became a very natural thing for me to host Twitter chats, and I've hosted quite a few over the years. Twitter Smarter started in 2015. I also started the Twitter Smarter podcast at the same time, and the Twitter chat just took off. There was nothing like it out there. There still isn't. I mean, nobody does a Twitter chat just about Twitter.
I have not found one either, and it's amazing to see how many people come to it on a weekly basis and regularly participate.
Yeah, it's very thrilling for sure that it just week after week, this has been going on for almost 5 years now, and people come back every week and enjoy the conversation.
So for the people that participate, who have you been struck the most that are either a random participant or regular participant? Do you have any notable, the Twitter celebrities that are jumping on and having conversations, or is it marketers and the general population?
It is mostly marketers that come to the chat, but I mean, we get, entrepreneurs, all kinds of business owners, people in other fields, and the occasional, I don't know so much as celebrities, like they're not always participating, but I do hear from them that they do check it out and do, because it's just so easy with a Twitter chat to be a lurker. Like if you don't say anything, you don't tweet anything, we don't know you're there. So I've had people in passing tell me about, how great the chat is. I'm like, oh, but I haven't seen you there before. But I would say for the most part, it's mostly marketers that want to learn how to use Twitter better.
And it really is a amazing way to do that, and the tips and pieces to it. So what kind of ways should Twitter be used by a small business, let's say? What do you see the strengths of utilizing Twitter?
Well, the best thing about when you're trying to use Twitter and get, the point is to get seen and heard. And I've had people tell me I get on Twitter and I feel like it's a ghost town. Nobody responds to me. They don't respond to me. They don't talk to me, even though there's hundreds of millions of people out there. But it's all in trying different strategies and things that will help you stand out. You can't just tweet articles that you put out every week and think that that's going to attract people. You got to actually listen. You got to get on there and listen to people, find conversations, and jump into it and be an active participant in that. Very similar to a Twitter chat, but just, connecting with people one-on-one and just replying to their tweets and starting a conversation, which can be the start of building a relationship. I always tell people, if there's a customer type you're looking for out there, or maybe a specific person you want to meet, maybe you want to get yourself seen in front of some VP of some big company, if they're actively using Twitter, you just want to get yourself in front of them. You want to just start talking to them, get to know them, and then over time you can build a relationship that can be very beneficial to you and your business.
It can be a very large pool just for networking if done the right way.
Oh, for sure.
Amazing of who you can speak to in the process.
Exactly. And one of the tactics I always share that I tell people to do is to set up Twitter lists, because what happens is when you follow people on Twitter, that all goes into your home feed. And so you'll go into your home feed and you just see so many tweets. And if you're following a variety of different types of people and businesses, it can just be a big mashup of just so many different things. Whereas with a Twitter list, you can pick very specific Twitter profiles to put into it. So I can have one of maybe just my competitors. So I can just keep an eye on what are they up to? What are they talking about? I can make it private so they don't see that I have this list. And then I can make public lists. Like for instance, every week on the Twitter Smarter Chat, after the guest has been on, I add them to this long ongoing list of Twitter chat hosts and guests. So, which some people find really interesting, that they're like, oh, I can go and watch tweets from all these different people that have been a guest on this Twitter chat over the years. So you can have a lot more control over your feed. And if you control your feed, you get a whole different type of Twitter than when we just go to your home screen.
And it really, it clears the playing field, because again, you have so many, especially when you end up following tens of thousands of people just based on how your follow plan has been. There are things that will jump out. The Twitter's getting a little smarter of jumping out the more regular people that you're interacting with, but it's also just a flow of a massive of handles and words at times that those lists really help make the process so much smoother.
Yeah, and they were smart in adopting an algorithm several years back, so that when you do go into your home feed, it is looking for specific people you do communicate with to show you, like, here's their most recent tweet, or here's an important tweet they put out that's getting a lot of attention. But you also have the ability to adjust your home feed to go back to just showing everyone you follow. So that's not run by an algorithm. So you actually get some control over that. I wasn't very for the algorithm initially when they first came out with it a few years ago. I like to just see everything in reverse chronological order. So whatever's brand new is at the top of my screen. But now what happens when I log in after being out for a few hours, I can see what I miss. And that was their whole point with adopting the algorithm, is like, hey, here's what you missed. And now you can catch up with people that you're most interested in.
And that part I've enjoyed as well. Although recently, I'll say about 3-4 months ago, they did something different where they asked you for specific people and entities that you like. So do you like entertainment? Where do you like entertainment? So it ended up, somehow I had list of Adam Driver fans tweets coming right at the top of my list, and some other person who I enjoyed but didn't really have an interest in everything about what was happening. It took me a while to walk back and get those out off my feed.
That's a brand new feature called Topics, which is really cool. They're going to really build this out, but right now it's 300 topics. They're pretty generic.
Yes.
Like with the one you're talking about, there was like a list of actors, and you can pick. What's really popular are the sports teams, so you can pick your local sports teams, and then the feed will adjust so that it shows you more conversation related to that. And this is actually very smart on Twitter's part, because if you're new to Twitter, and let's say you're a football fan and you want to talk to people that are talking about your football team, how would you go find them? You'll naturally go follow the football team's Twitter profile. You'll go look up some hashtags, but you're not going to get a full picture out of that. You're really just getting a piece of it. So by having this new topics feature, I can add my football team on there, and now it's going to show me so much more. I'm going to see people talking about the team, and it'll give me the opportunity to meet new people. I'm really excited about this new feature.
And I see the positives. I think just the generalness of it to start kind of backline on my personal feed, but I saw where they were going with it as well, and I'm excited to see the growth as time goes on. So let me ask you the general question I'm asking everyone. What is your number one strategy that's really working well for you and your clients to achieve their marketing goals?
So my number one strategy right now is with Twitter, and a lot of this applies to other social media platforms, but on Twitter is all about using really good visuals, and video and GIFs are working so well right now. It's working well for me. I'm showing other people how to utilize it so that they can get more attention, because let's face it, when we're on Twitter and there's tons of other people, they say there's 500 million tweets a day. So what are you doing to stand out so people see you? And what most people do is just do a text type of tweet, or maybe with a photo. But when you add a video to that, it changes the whole dynamics. Or even a GIF or a custom GIF, where it's a GIF that you created yourself that's more personalized. Forrester did this report a while back. They said, how a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, they are saying a video is worth 1.8 million words. And that is so true. Video is powerful. It says so much. And when you are using Twitter and you're keep maxing out the 280 character limit, a video takes you far ahead of that. You can do so much more and say more in a video so that you're not so limited with what you're typing. So I'm just a big fan of video. I think that's something that for marketers that are not currently doing this is something they should really start trying out. And then the whole GIF thing, I've been having huge success with that, Howard. I've always liked GIFs, and for people that may not know exactly what that is, when you're on Twitter and even on Facebook, they have them where these little animations, usually it's like from a TV show for 3 seconds or 5 seconds, maybe somebody's making a funny face. They're cutesy, right? A lot of people use them to just have fun on social media. And what I've been doing on Twitter for the last several years is utilizing GIFs as a way to share emotion. Somebody says something really nice and you want to say, hey, thank you. Having some kind of nice GIF to go with it, is going to make them smile and make them remember you. It's just a thing that makes it a more memorable experience. But I've been taking it to a whole new level over the past several months, where I'm making my own custom GIFs, where I'm actually making my own. It's not difficult to do. I do it with my iPhone in a free app called Giphy. And I can sit here and create these fun little 6-second clips of me, waving or thumbs up or different things. And then when I'm on Twitter and I'm having great conversations with people, I'll add this custom GIF to the conversation. And people get back to me every time. They say, Madelyn, that is so cool. They tell me how much my tweet stands out to them just by getting a custom GIF. So that's been my latest strategy that is just doing an amazing job. Twitter says that when you're doing video and GIFs, you're going to exponentially see your engagement grow because those types of visuals attract attention. When you're going through a feed and you see a GIF or you see some kind of video in there, it really attracts your attention. It makes your eyes, lock onto it. So I think getting more people to try this and experiment to see how it works for them, I think they'll be really pleasantly surprised at how well their engagement goes up, which really, in that case, also makes your follower count go up, makes everything just grow. And that's what everybody's always wanting when it comes to Twitter. They want to attract more people, talk to more people. So that's just been a really fun strategy to share with everyone.
And you sent a tip about a month or so ago. I know we interacted on where you had 4 boxes of images and they're all moving at the same time that the Twitter seemed to like and then not like all around that same time period.
Right. Someone had figured out this hack on how to have 4 GIFs in one tweet, which I thought was super cool and just made the tweet stand out even more. And I was testing it out on one of my Twitter chats and people just went crazy. So I made a how-to video on how to do it. And it was just a real simple adjustment in the file type so that it would work on Twitter. And very quickly, a lot of people started doing this and a lot of big brands were doing it, which I think is what got Twitter's attention. And Twitter very quickly said, you know what, this isn't really good for our system right now. We're going to turn this hack off so you can't do it anymore. But they are saying that they will come out with a way where we could do multiple GIFs in a tweet, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, I jumped right on it when you shared it, and I did it a couple of times, and I really liked the results, and I loved the way it looked. And then I did it once, and not a single one of my images were moving. I knew that the party was over.
Yeah, but it really shows the power of using GIFs in your tweets. And even though right now we're limited to 1, you can just say so much in a tweet with that 1 GIF and then really take it to a new level when it's a custom GIF that you create yourself. And so I have a whole page full of them over on my Giphy page. Giphy is Giphy. That's where a lot of these GIFs reside at. It's this free site, but you can actually go create your own page and put your own custom GIFs in there. So people have just been loving them. It's just a lot of fun. It makes Twitter more fun.
And that helps because one, it's a means of communicating and it's a means of networking. So you really want to have that personality that goes along with it. And just, again, it also takes up a lot of time, so you might as well enjoy your time in the process while you're doing it as well.
Well, people can really get to know you when they're seeing you do these GIFs yourself. Like I'll sit here and do like a thumbs up or waving hi, and people are like, oh, I didn't realize you had all these tattoos. Tell me about them. Like it opens up these other conversations and they feel like they know you. That's why video is so powerful. And I've been a huge advocate for video for years in your social media, because video says so much more to people than just, hiding behind a tweet where nobody necessarily knows who you are very well. It's just too easy to hide behind that. But when you're doing video, it's transparent, it's real, it's raw. People get to know the real you. And so but not everybody's comfortable doing video. So I feel like custom GIFs is kind of a way where you're showcasing yourself, but you're not like making a video you have to be nervous about. Just wave to the camera, and just wave and use that. When you meet new people, send that custom GIF out when you're talking to them, and you're going to make that person feel so at ease. And this all goes to what we all learn in Sales and Marketing 101. People want to buy and work with people they know, like, and trust. So what an easy way to get to know people, get them to like you and trust you by just having a little 6-second video of you waving or doing a thumbs up. So easy to do, and the results are amazing.
It's words to live by as from a marketer and a business owner, and that really sums up everything with how that helps communicate on Twitter. So I think thank you for that statement in general, but thank you so much for spending time with me and time with the audience and sharing just the amazing power of Twitter. And what would be the best way for people to follow you and connect with you to really learn more from the amazing things that you share on a regular basis?
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, best way is to follow me on Twitter. We can chat on Twitter at Madelyn Sklar. Also through my website, madelynsklar.com. I'm found everywhere with that name because I'm the only one with that name. So it's not too hard to track me down, but definitely send me a tweet and let me know that you saw this.
Fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us today. And I truly, truly enjoyed it and really appreciated it.
Thanks, Howard. I'm so glad you're doing this. I can't wait to see the others.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you all for joining us today and watching this. I really hope that you really learned a ton from this specific one, and go out and enjoy the rest of the videos. And we will see you next time. Thank you.